I didn't know you can park up here or camp up here. There's about 20 other cars up here that were sleeping. What's going on, everyone? Honda Fit for Adventure here, and welcome to part 2 of my Smoky Mountain car camping adventure. It's day 3, and we're gonna start by taking a hike up to and then a dip in Laurel Falls. After that, we're gonna go for a scenic drive down Foothills Parkway, and then go for a couple of rips at the Tail of the Dragon before finding a place to crash for the night. For day 4, we're gonna get up super early and see the sunrise at the top of Clingmans Dome observation tower. Then we're gonna go for a cave tour and see an underground waterfall before being stung by a yellow jacket. I just got stung by a bee in the ear, almost in the ear. That's gonna swell up, I feel it. And debating if I should go to the hospital or find a place to sleep for the night. I think I got bit now too. Like my whole neck is super itchy. In my last video, we were woken up by a bear and we're gonna take it from there. And I was just like, is that a person? But it was a freaking bear. Ooh, I need some more water pressure. Get the job done for now. Our first stop for the day is going to be Laurel Falls. About to do our first hike of the trip to Laurel Falls. As you can see, there was already quite a few cars here when I arrived. This is why I was in a hurry to get that parking pass yesterday. Without that parking pass, we would have to wait around until at least 9 a.m. to visit the falls. It was a mild 1.3 mile hike to get to the top of Laurel Falls. Once at the top, I did my usual dip in the water. What better way to feel wake up and refreshed? Thank you very much. On our way back, you can see that the traffic has picked up and the parking lot is now full. Glad I got here early because as you can see or tell, there's no parking left. I came back at the right time because I forgot to put my pass in the window. The ranger just pulled it. Alright, so we're headed off to Cades Cove. I'm assuming the parking's gonna be full too, but if you just wait around, it doesn't seem too bad. Enough people come and go, where if you wait around for 5 minutes or less, you can probably get a spot. At least that's the game plan. Next, we're going to head on over to another scenic drive called Cades Cove. In my opinion, Cades Cove was kind of boring compared to the other scenic drives and everything else we did on the trip, so we're going to skip past this one and head on over to Foothills Parkway. The Foothills Parkway is a national parkway that traverses the foothills of the northern Smoky Mountains along the southeast side of Tennessee. 33.3 miles. I'm gonna put it on wide and try to do a hyperlapse of the whole thing. So here we go. The parkway starts in Wares Valley. This is about 30 minutes from Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg and heads about 33 miles south, ending at the Tennessee River and Route 129, aka the Tail of the Dragon. The Tail of the Dragon is our next stop, so please sit back, enjoy the views and some history until we arrive. Upon making this video, I learned that planning for Foothills Parkway started around 1944 and wasn't completed until late 2018.
West toward Foothills Parkway Section 8G, Foothills Parkway West.
The parkway was open prior to 2018, but not all of the sections of the road linked together until a few years ago. As you can imagine, engineering and building a road through the mountains was not cheap, and the project was held back due to lack of funding. It took about 20 years to open the last section of the road. It was only about 1.6 miles long, but needed several bridges in order to link everything together. The last section of road to be completed was known as the missing link. Future plans for the roadway include linking several more roads together, stretching from Gatlinburg all the way east to I-40. Upon completion, this would bring the total length of Foothills National Parkway to 72.1 miles. As I mentioned earlier, Foothills Parkway ends up at the Tennessee River and Route 129, which takes us to our next destination, the Tail of the Dragon. Having a quick lunch, I'm drawing off my towel and shorts from earlier. Motorcycles, high crash area, next 11 miles. I ended up entering the Dragon from the backside, where you are promptly greeted with a big yellow sign warning you of the dangerous roads for the next 11 miles. For those of you that don't know, Tail of the Dragon is an 11-mile strip of road with 318 curves, making it the hotspot for motorcycle and car enthusiasts to test out their driving skills or to go for a spirited drive. Yes, there is a speed limit, but it's loosely enforced. Let me give you some tips before traveling on the Dragon. Number 1, stay in your lane. It might be tempting to pass a slower moving vehicle or cut it in tight around the corners, but there are plenty of blind spots going around the curves and you never know who's cutting it in close or swinging it out wide. This is why the Tail of the Dragon is all, if not mostly, a double-striped highway. Woo, buddy! Number 2, be courteous and pull over. If you're traveling at a slower moving pace than the group behind you, please pull over at the next pull-off and let them pass. If the person or a group in front of you is traveling at a slower pace and does not pull over, you should try pulling over for a while. Let them go up ahead, and this is a good time to let your brakes cool off. Slow it down a bit, smell my brakes. Number 3, pay attention. Not only for other motorists, truck, coming around, here's Foothills. But wildlife, turkey, is that a chicken? Falling rocks, sharp curves, and steep drop-offs. Sucks, super blind. One look at your phone or some scenery and you could quickly end up in the other lane or off the road. You don't want to end up on the wall of woe. Number 4. Now this one is optional, and that is to get a radio. There wasn't much cell service in the Smokies, so I saw quite a few people using them to communicate while in the mountains and while making runs on the Dragon. Welcome to North Carolina. I planned on getting some hot food at the entrance of the Dragon, but by the time I was done filming, everything had closed up for the day, so I ended up driving into town for some Wendy's. Just got done with a couple Dragon runs, but unfortunately I got here a bit late, so the souvenirs and the food is all closed down, so on to the next town. Little did I know that I passed a nice little campground with some hot showers on my drive into town. I'll find out about it later and end up staying there tomorrow and showering at the campground several more times throughout my trip. I I ended up sleeping at a rest area for the night, which was about 10 miles away from my next destination, Clingmans Dome Observation Tower for sunrise.
Guilty pleasure. Smash those chips down, snack container complete. And it is 10 o'clock. Gonna call it in for the night. Got my alarm set for 4:30. 6:30 puts us there. See you when we get there. Rise and shine, time to get back on the road.
It was about a 7-mile drive to the top of Clingmans Dome, which means this rest area was just 3 miles down the road from the park entrance. Although the rest stop was bright and busy, being 5 minutes away from the park entrance was awfully nice. There was just elk in the road. I'm sure there'll be more when we go up. They're pretty big. Sunrise was at 7:20, and I pulled into the park at 4:45 a.m. There were a few cars ahead of me driving up the mountain already, and when I got to the top, there were about 20 more. I didn't know you can park up here or camp up here. There's about 20 other cars up here that were sleeping. Unaware that it was 1.5 miles of a vertical hike to the observation tower, I messed around in my car, making some coffee and oatmeal before realizing that everybody had left their vehicles for sunrise. I got out of my car and went around the corner to where I thought the lookout point was, only to find out it was just the entrance to the visitor center, and the lookout tower was further up the hill, so high that you could not see.
I should have left the car earlier. It's a hike and a half up this mountain to get to the dome. I'm gonna get there right in time.
So if you plan on catching the sunrise at Clingmans Dome, make sure you give yourself plenty of time for the drive as well as the hike to the top. The path is asphalted the whole way, but it is very steep. I made it just in time with about 20 minutes to spare, and the view did not disappoint. We may have not have been as close to the clouds as we were at Wayabald, but the morning view at Clingmans Dome was so unreal that it looked fake. I'm not sure if the video captures the full detail of what I was seeing, so take a look at some of my pictures. With part of the observation tower in the frame, it looks like we're watching a big screen TV. After sunrise, I didn't have much planned for the day, so I took my time in my car to make some food and enjoyed the view. Once the parking lot started to fill up, I decided to leave and give someone else a spot and headed back to the Tail of the Dragon. I filmed some more shots.
Let's check out this gift shop.
Picked up some souvenirs at the gift shop that was closed yesterday.
These in black, but I'll take it. Shot glass for the wife, a magnet for the fridge, and then for my display wall at home, I have a place to put pins.
And impressed a few bikers before finding the campground that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that's water.
Is that active?
Yeah.
Like you have a tank. Where do you put the water like in? Why would you have that back there?
I'll show you. A little messy. So the PVC is my water tank, and then this is a 60-gallon fuel cell. So this was my stock tank. I get 750 miles of range. What? Oh shit! I feel dirty though. I want to shower.
The campground was about 10 miles or less from the Tail of the Dragon. It was a simple campground with an interesting view of the dam. But best of all, it had hot showers.
Please have showers.
It looked like there was plenty of spots open, but I couldn't figure out where to book a campsite. You actually had to drive back to town and book a site at the resort that owned the campground. Thankfully, town only meant 1.3 miles away.
If it's booked, hopefully they let me use their shower. Oh my God.
The resort looked nice, but you can tell that they didn't care for the campground much because the bathroom and shower facility was a bit dirty and dusty.
The shower building was kind of dingy, but the water and the water pressure, awesome.
With the rest of the night free, it was time to clean myself and the car before making some dinner.
reorganizing some stuff. I should have some more room. Spare clothes, spare tire. My little nozzle's clogged, so it just dribbles water. It still works nice that way, but it does spray a lot of water just coming out the regular faucet. So I probably should cook my food before the sun gets down, because once it's dark, I really just want to relax. Tonight's dinner, some taco meat, no tortilla, just some bread. Look at those chevrons though. This Honda Fit might be a little four-banger, but the driver is powered by V8. I showered, feel amazing, had a hot cooked meal, perfect. Now I can stretch out, probably gonna be almost butt-ass naked. See y'all in the morning. It is 7:10. I'm not sure if it was the hot shower, a full stomach, or not having anything to do for the next couple of days, but this was the best night's sleep of the whole trip. Take off in a few minutes here. Just trying to dry off my dish towel. The following day, I decided to head back up to Clingmans Dome once more and try to catch the sunset. So I'm pretty sure everybody in the bus right now is going to Clingmans Dome. We'll see how busy it is during the day. It was beyond packed. Afternoon to sunset must be their busiest time of day. I still gotta park up here for a minute to get some cell reception so we could figure out where we're gonna go from here. I still had a few hours left before nightfall, so I decided to head west towards Burgess and Clingmans Falls. Since both parks were going to be closed by my estimated arrival, I headed a bit north to Ruby Falls, which was open for another hour or so. What I didn't know is that Ruby Falls is in a cave. Now I'm not claustrophobic or anything, I just didn't know that I'd be taking an elevator underground for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. Nah, I joke, it was only 2 hours.
Do not drink the water. The water has about 14% magnesium in it. If you don't know what that means, laxatives have 2%. The waterfall's on a timed light show, so we got about 7.5 minutes in there, so just be curious right around you, make sure I can see.
The cave tour also came with a ticket to the observation tower on top of the resort. Goes higher. Oh my gosh. While I was up on top of the observation tower updating Instagram, I was stung by a bee. I'm assuming this was a yellow jacket based on all the warning signs that I've been seeing around town since I arrived. I just got stung by a bee in the ear, almost in the ear. Oh, that's gonna swell up, I feel it. After the cave tour, I drove closer to Clingmans and Burgess Falls before finding a spot to sleep for the night. We're almost.
Take the Tennessee 135 Burgess Falls Road exit.
Park hours, 8, 6, no parking outside gates. It is against the law to enter the park when it is closed.
So I know I got stung earlier today on the ear.
By the time I found a place to sleep for the night, the right side of my neck had turned red, my upper body started to itch, and my back broke out in hives.
Super itchy.
I made some food and debated on going to get checked out.
Just finished eating.
I rolled around in my car, mildly uncomfortable for most of the night, but everything did clear up by morning to late afternoon.
Nothing like doing your dishes in a gas station parking lot.
That's going to wrap it up for part 2. In our final video, we're going to cook a grilled cheese and a pizza in the car.
That is delish.
Attend not 1, but 2 Honda pre-meets, and then on to our big event, Classic Hondas on the Dragon 8, before returning home to Chicago. Stay fit.
And I see another Honda Fit. So I'm gonna leave them a sticker. Hopefully they appreciate that.